Every night, more than 300,000 men, women, and children in the United States stay in homeless shelters. That's according to the National Alliance to End Homelessness.
Yeah, it's a challenge communities across the country are facing, and we're seeing it firsthand in our own neighborhoods. In tonight's Local Voices report, I'll introduce you to a woman working around the clock to make sure our area's most vulnerable have a roof over their head. Well, we're addressing a nationwide problem that extends right here to the Rockford community, and that's homelessness. I have Angie Walker here with me, Rockford's homeless program coordinator. Angie, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I wanted to kind of just sit down and talk with you about homelessness and how it's really affecting the Rockford community. Can you start by just telling us how big of a problem is this?
Sure. In our community, obviously, we do have homelessness. We're lucky in that we've been fighting it for a long time. So we've made a lot of progress. But at this time, based on the numbers that we're seeing day in and day out, we are working with a few over 160 people. So that involves families with minor children. It is young people under the age of 25. There's veterans and there's single adults. So it runs the whole gamut of populations. But we are right around that 160 number right now that we're working with.
What kind of efforts do you all have in place to help people get housing?
Well, we work with several agencies around the community, housing providers. We'll basically work with most landlords who are willing to work with us as well. So we work with partner agencies that have temporary housing, such as the Rescue Mission or Remedies. But we also really want to focus on getting people into permanent housing. So, some folks do need a little more help. So they need wraparound services with their housing. So for those folks, we refer them to what we call permanent supportive housing programs. So those are programs that come with housing, but they also come with services that folks need to stabilize.
Homelessness is kind of an issue that everybody kind of needs to be involved in to solve. One person just can't get that done. And I know that a lot of people in our community, so many giving people who want to be a part of the solution. What can people do if they want to help?
There's several things people can do. We always tell people if you see somebody outside that you think needs help, they're in danger, anything like that, we do have a 24/7 hotline that you can call and report their location, and we can actually send people out to them to check on them. The second thing is, though, work with your local providers. Agencies always need volunteers. They always need donations of goods and services. So if you have a certain agency or something that you're interested in, check in with them, see if there's something that they need that you can help with. Sometimes it's as little as giving somebody a couple bath towels that's really going to make a difference in their life.
Angie, so we know back in January, the point in time homeless count happened.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about how that helps you guys get funding for the people in our community.
Sure. The point in time is like a snapshot of a point in time. So they look at what your homelessness looks like at one specific time. So that funding or that information can actually be used for your funding. We use the data that we get to provide to HUD for our funding for all of our HUD programming for homelessness, but we can also use it for other grants as well to get more funding in our community.
Yeah. How has it helped you in the past?
A lot of grants are really data driven these days, so you really have to have that information to provide when you're asking for funds from places. If you don't have data, you really can't get funding. So it's really important to have that information.
Well, we know that homelessness is something that won't be solved overnight, but we definitely appreciate all the great work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Angie also tells me Rockford is part of the Illinois 100-Day Challenge. The goal is to get youth under 25 safe and also stable housing too. Now, so far, 4 Illinois communities are working on this initiative to end and prevent homelessness. That's Springfield, Joliet, suburban Cook County, and also Rockford. So we'll have to check in with her later and see how they're doing with that challenge.